In this video, I will show you step by step with an easy beginner-friendly tutorial exactly how to create kids animation educational videos in just minutes, and you'll be able to earn upwards of $875 in a day. And rockstars, before we even get started, here is an example of the type of video that I'm gonna teach you how to create in these simple steps.
Hi kiddos, let's learn the fruits. Ready? Let's start. Apple. Banana.
Now let me jump into character here. This video has gotten 14 million views, and there are videos on this channel that has gotten 69 million views in 2 years.
Odetta, are you serious about that?
Did I stutter? Whatever you are? Let's get back to the real Odetta. And the channel actually has 1.8 million subscribers, and they have posted about 135 videos at the time of me recording this. With about 700,000 views per day on average, the channel is raking in anywhere from $3,500 to $7,000 in a day. Now, as a parent, whether mom or dad, you're gonna have more bills, and this starts with diapers and formula, which isn't cheap, and then it leads into the college tuition that is haunting many of your dreams because you don't know where the first dollar is gonna come from. And many people out there will argue that the best way to manage expenses is to cut back, but I went to a totally different school. My solution when you have additional bills to get on top of them is not to cut back and then compromise your life. Of course, reasonably so. If you're flaunting and spending frivolously, then you need to correct that. But my solution is to identify new streams of income so that you can increase the amount of money coming in. And in doing so, you'll be able to provide a life of abundance for you and your child or children as parents. Now, at this point, as a parent, I want you to pause this video and I want you to take a moment to think about how yours and your child's life or children's life would change if you're making $875 a day, which works out to about $26,000 a month. And I'll be back. Welcome back, rockstars. Thank you again for hitting play on this video. Now, if it's not too private, what you imagined as a parent that you would do if you're making this kind of money, go ahead and write it in the comments for me, whether it's an investment or an expenditure, how this money would change your life. That said, let's get into this tutorial because we're gonna be here for a little while. Now, to create these animated educational videos for kids, I've broken it into 8 simple steps. And step 1 is scripting your video. And don't worry, we're gonna use AI, so you don't need to be talented this way. The tool of choice that we're gonna use is ChatGPT, and you can use the free version for this tutorial. If you're still not using ChatGPT yet, the link is in the description of this video. Now let's grab the computer so that we can do this together. Now, after signing into ChatGPT, we're gonna start with this prompt. Give me animated educational video title ideas for kids that can be easily created using Canva with 2D animation. Now, as you can see here, ChatGPT is gonna give us many video ideas to choose from when creating our kids animation video. You're gonna select an idea to start with, and you can either select one from the list or maybe you have one in your head that you came up with. Let's say we're gonna choose a similar video to replicate like the one I showed you earlier on that channel that that's doing exceptionally well. And the video I showed you was about fruits and vegetables. So let's say we're going to replicate that one for this tutorial. Your next prompt in ChatGPT, write me a script for a simple 2D kids animated educational video that I can create in Canva about, and this is where you're gonna copy and paste the title that you got from either ChatGPT, the one you had in your head, or in this case, I'm gonna copy fruits and vegetable names because that's what I want the video to be about. Then you add to the end of the prompt, suggest scenes for the video. As you can see here, ChatGPT is gonna give you the visual of what should be happening in the video at that particular time. It's gonna give you the audio as it pertains to what kind of sound effects or what kind of sounds you should be hearing. And it's also going to give you the narration, which is what your voiceover should be saying. And for this video title that I plugged into ChatGPT, it actually used some amount of creativity and gave me the fruits and vegetables in alphabetical order. Like for A, apple, B, bananas, C, carrots, D, dancing tomatoes. Okay.
You gotta be kidding me!
It may be off a little bit, but you get the gist, rock stars. But let me tell you, again, this is a lot of fun to create. Let's move to step 2 of the process. Step 2 is actually to create the video. To create the video, we're gonna use Canva. And I'm gonna put the link in the description of this video so you can get started with Canva. And you can use a free account, but if you really wanna take your creative game to another level, it may be worth the small investment per month, which I'll pop up here on screen for Canva. Now we're gonna create the animation video scene by scene. So for scene 1, as per ChatGPT, it's the introduction, and the visual for this scene is open with a colorful animated scene of a garden full of various fruits and vegetables. So let's get started. So after logging into Canva by clicking the link, you're then gonna select videos from the menu as I'm doing here, and then you're gonna select YouTube video. Now, as per ChatGPT, scene 1 mentioned a garden. So you're gonna go to elements here on Canva and you're gonna search for garden. You're gonna then select graphics because remember this is animated, and then you're gonna see a vast or a variety of images that you can choose from. Choose something that's colorful but has enough space for you to put your characters, which we're gonna insert later on. Now you can leave your background as is and then move to the next steps, but rockstars, you know we don't do normal. So we're gonna take it up a notch. So I'm gonna show you how to add animation to this background. First, let's add some butterflies flying. All you have to do is to go to elements as I'm doing here on Canva or in Canva, search for butterflies and select graphics. Choose a motion graphics where the butterflies actually flicker in from the options that are there, and then you're gonna size it and place it here on the screen over your background. Let's now search for flying bee, and while we're at it, let's just drop it in here on our background and resize it. And I'm enjoying this too much, rockstars. Let's now add a flying bird in the sky. Go to elements, search for flying birds, click graphics, and let's pick one from the images that are there. I'm gonna pick this one, and to change the direction, because I want it to go the other way, just click on the actual bird as I'm doing here and click flip in the menu, and we're gonna flip the bird horizontally. You can leave yours as is if you want. Now, to make this bird move across your screen, yeah, we're getting ambitious here, you're gonna click on it and you're gonna select animation from the menu as I'm doing here, and then you're gonna select create an animation. You're gonna drag the bird in the direction as I'm doing here to create your animation. And don't worry, if you mess this up, just scroll to the bottom of the screen and select delete path and then create the path again. Now we want our bird to fly smoothly so it looks more realistic. So just select steady here from the options and let's play to see what our bird looks like. Rockstars, isn't this awesome? You just did that. You can also slow down the bird, and I'm going to slow this one down by dragging the speed so that it takes up the whole scene and covers the voiceover. Now we're going to move to step 2, and this is to create the characters. Now that we have our background, it's time to add the fruits and veggies, which actually are your characters. Now, as per the Chat GPT script, there are 7 characters. Apple, banana, carrot, tomatoes, eggplant, broccoli, and grapes. I'm going to change broccoli because it's a little bit boring, and I'm going to replace it with pineapple. Yes, rockstars, I'm being very petty. Just go to Elements and you're going to search for the first character, which is an apple, and you're going to type in apples with a face. And you're going to get many options to choose from. As you see here, select one that you like and position it on the screen. And you're going to repeat this process for all your characters. Banana with a face, you're going to search for that. Carrot with a face, tomatoes, eggplant, pineapple, grapes, whatever your video is. Make sure you choose with a face so that you'll be better able to engage your audience. Now, if you can't find a fruit that you like with a face, you can actually select a fruit and then search Element for face and select graphics, choose a face and make sure it's a happy expression. And then you drag it onto the pineapple. You then select the pineapple and the face because you want to make them one. You click the right mouse button or the left, it depends on what kind of device you're using, and you select group here in Canva, and it will keep the two of them together, and then you can size them to what you want. Position all your characters on screen, as you see me doing here, by laying them out against your background. Now for step 3, we're going to animate our characters, and there are different ways that you can do this. You can click on the character, starting with the apple as an example, as I'm doing here, and you can click animation, and you can choose one of the options, whether you want it to pop, to scrapbook, to fade, or to stomp, as I'm showing you here. So we're gonna click on the particular animation, and you're gonna scroll down to the bottom of the menu, as I'm doing here on Canva, and you're gonna click on Add Motion Effects and choose whether you want it to rotate, to flicker, to pulse, or to wiggle. For this demo, we're gonna have all our characters wiggling. There's nothing wrong with a good wiggle when it comes to a kid's animation video. So just click the character and click wiggle to add the animation. Now let's add a title for our video, because this is the first scene, so you want to introduce it. And as you can see here in the voiceover that you got from ChatGPT, it mentions a title. All you have to do is to click on text and select add a text box, or you can select one of the text templates that's there on screen, and you're going to drag the text to where you want it to be on the page. Then you're going to type the video title in the text box that you got from ChatGPT. So in this case, we're typing Fruits and Veggie Adventures, and we're going to split our title in 2 lines so that we can differentiate with font and colors. Remember, it's kids, so we need to keep it colorful. So we're going to keep Fruits and Veggie and then Adventures in the second line. And now we're going to change the font, and I'm going to go to the text box and I'm going to search for kids to get some fun font ideas and choose one. Now for Fruits and Veggie, I'm going to choose Lilita 1. And then I'm going to choose Mary Kate for Adventures. And after choosing the font, I'm going to size it, as I'm doing here, to make it aligned in the center of the page. You can put it wherever you want. Now let's change the colors to make it pop. So we're gonna make fruits and veggies yellow by just clicking this A icon here to choose your color. And we're gonna add a blue border by going to effects here in Canva and choosing a border and then choosing the color of the border. And let's make the adventures blue. Now let's animate the title. Select the text. Let's start with fruits and veggies. Go to animate and let's select bounce. And then from motion effects, we can select pulse so that it's bouncing in and then pulsing. And for adventures, let's make the adventures rise and then pulse. Rockstars, let's play our scene now that we have our titles and all our animations to see if we're onto something.
Check it out.
Listen. I would say we're onto something. And if you agree with me, write $875 a day in the comments so you can start the manifestation process, having realized that you may actually be able to do this. And at this stage, if you're learning anything new, I would really appreciate it if you would like the video. And if you're not yet a rock star, go ahead and join the family by hitting subscribe. I'm looking forward to welcoming you. Let's move to step 4, which is to create the other scenes that were given to you in your Chat GPT script. Now, scene 2 is specific to the apple. And the visual for this scene, as per Chat GPT, it says an animated apple character bouncing happily in an orchard. Now in the video timeline down here at the bottom of your video, I'm gonna click this plus sign to add a new blank scene to our video. Now based on the script from ChatGPT that references an orchard, we're gonna go to elements, we're gonna search for garden or search for orchards, and we're gonna select graphics. Choose one that you like, as I'm doing here, and you're gonna position it as the background of this next scene. Make sure it's not too crowded because you're gonna need to add elements to that particular screen. Go to elements, and now we're gonna search for apple trees because you know we have to spice it up. I mean, you could leave it as is and just add your apples, but that would be us doing normal. And rockstars, you know, as I said earlier, we don't do normal. We do exceptional, phenomenal, and amazing because that's the only way these side hustles, initiatives, or business ideas that I'm showing you will actually see success. Those people who take the normal approach end up in the 95% who are never able to master making money online. And rockstars, you are 5%ers. You are exceptional. So we're gonna do this right. All that said, let's go back to the video. I'm getting ahead of myself here. To add our elements, we're gonna first find some apple trees. So you're gonna go into elements and search for apple trees, and you can choose a few of them to add to create your apple orchard, as I'm doing here. Let's add this basket of apples that's sitting right here, since it's just showing itself to us and saying, add me, add me. And we're gonna pop it right here under this tree that obviously is not bearing any fruits. Now let's add our apple, who is called Annie as per our ChatGPT script, and that's our first character. Go to elements, search for apple with face and select graphics, and you're gonna choose a happy one. Now, because it's an educational video, you're now gonna have to do the educating, and we're gonna create a presenter box. Go to elements, and under shapes, just scroll up and search for a rounded edge square shape. Now, because I use these a lot, it's right here at the top, and I'm just gonna drag it to my background and size it where I want it to sit, as you see me doing here. Now I'm gonna make my first shape red because we're talking about apples and they do come in red and green. Now you're also going to select another rounded shape as I'm doing here and position it and then make it black. And you're going to select a third rounded shape because this is now for your label, and you're going to position it as I'm doing here and change the color to green. Now we'll only have to do this once because we're going to copy and paste this for all our other characters. Now for the educational piece, you're actually going to use real apples because you want these kids to be able to identify an apple in real life, because apples in real life don't have a face as we're showing them here. So all you have to do is to search elements for apples and select photos this time, not graphics. And you're going to pick a real apple photo and you're gonna drag it here onto your screen or click it and drop it, and then we're gonna size it and put it here as I'm doing so that it's a part of your box that we just created. Now you can keep resizing it and modifying the fonts and colors to your heart's desire. But let's now create some animation for what we just created, which is the shape, as well as for our character. And while the script from ChatGPT says bouncing apples, I think I would be onto something if I have the apple kind of falling from one of these trees. So we're going to click on the apple and then we're going to go to animate. And like we did earlier, I'm going to drag the animation from the tree onto the ground to give the impression that the apple is falling. Now for our photo of our apple, we want that to be moving as well, but we want it to move discreetly. So let's just click on animate and choose breathe as an option so it will gradually expand. Now you can also add and animate things like clouds in the sky as I'm doing here by just searching elements for clouds and then following what I just showed you to animate them. You can put birds in the trees and you can keep going to your heart's desire. I'm gonna stop now because I think I'm having too much fun. Now, all you're gonna do is repeat this process for every scene. Now, to add a transition, and this is between one scene and another, you can just click in between the scene as I'm doing here, this little graphics looking thing, and then you can choose from the transition options that are available. Remember, it's a kids video, so you want drama. So I'm gonna choose the ones that are most dramatic as you see me doing here. Now, rock stars, we're on to step 5, and this is to incorporate the voiceover. And if you have an iPhone, you can just use voice notes and record your voice and then upload it. And then of course you need to make sure the scene matches with your voice, which is actually pretty easy to do. But we're not gonna use our own voice. We're actually gonna use a voiceover. And the AI tool that we're gonna use for this is 11 Labs, and you can actually test it out for free before making a commitment. And I'm gonna put the 11 Labs link in the description of this video because today you can actually start at $1 per month if you want more than what is being offered with the free version, or if you want to use your voiceovers for commercial purposes, you'll need to incur that $1 per month. But I think it's worth it. Test it out for free first. And if you like this, then you can always invest that $1 per month. Just create an account on 11 Labs, and then you're gonna go back to ChatGPT for the script. And for scene 1, as an example, as I'm doing here, I'm gonna copy the narration because this is what your voiceover is supposed to be. And I'm gonna paste it in the text box here on 11 Labs as I'm doing. And just make sure you check text to speech on 11 Labs because that's what you're trying to do. Now you're gonna need to test the different voices and select one that matches a childish theme for your content. And I'm using the free version for this demo. I think you get more options with the paid version if you decide to subscribe. Now I like Mimi, and let's take a listen, rock stars, to hear what she sounds like.
If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door.
I think Mimi is ideal. Just enough drama with a tad bit of calm and excitement. So now that we have selected our voiceover character, let's hit generate and let's take a listen to our first scene.
Welcome to the Fruit and Veggie Adventure. Today we're going to explore some delicious fruits and vegetables and learn their names.
Absolutely splendiferous, if that's a word. I think it sounds good. So let's just download as I'm doing here. And this step is very important. You're gonna save it in your media, which is where it will put it automatically. But you need to change the file name to match the scene so that when you're uploading them into Canva, you're not having to guess and spell which voiceover for which scene. So as I'm doing here, I'm changing this file name to scene 1 and leaving it there in my download folder. And I'm just gonna repeat this process. I'm gonna go to ChatGPT, copy the voiceover, paste it into 11 Labs and generate it, save it, and rename it based on the scene. And now we're on to step 6, which is uploading your voiceover to Canva. Go back to Canva and select upload from the menu here as I'm doing and select audio. Select upload files and upload all the voiceovers that you have created all at once as I'm doing here. Now you're gonna select the scene from your timeline and select the matching voiceover and it will add it to a portion of the timeline as it did here. Just drag it to where you want it to be and you're gonna repeat this process for every single one of your scenes in your video timeline here on Canva. You can also drag your scenes if the voiceover is longer or shorter as I'm doing here to the appropriate length. And let's move now to step 7. Because we need to make this musical and we need to also add sound effects to keep those kids not just visually glued to the screen while watching your videos, but also from an audio perspective, you want those sounds like they're watching a cartoon, keeping them very engaged so their parents can do whatever it is that they're doing when they hand these kids the tablets and leave them with it for sometimes hours at a time, which is kind of frightening, but we're not here to judge. We're here to make money by producing good content. So to add music, you will enhance your animation, and we can do so with royalty-free sources like Pixabay, and I'm going to put the Pixabay link in the description. Why I even suggest Pixabay is because you'll be able to get kid sounding music by simply searching for it, and then you'll be able to download it and use it commercially without any issues. Now, to me, the Pixabay catalog is limited, but it's definitely a good place for you to start. I personally use Epidemic Sound for the majority of the sounds and music that you hear on my YouTube channel, and I'm also putting the link below in the description. Now, it's gonna cost you about $9.99 per month, but you're gonna find that this tool has an extensive library of music, whether with voice, like this one here, which I absolutely love, or sound effects, so you won't need to go anywhere else. It's an investment though, so you can decide when you want to take that on if you decide to go that route. Whichever platform you use, what's critical is for you to search for kids or animated background music and select the option that best suits your animated video. Now, you can upload your background music and your sound effects in the same way you uploaded your narration to Canva, and by clicking it, it will be added to your timeline. Now, you can adjust the volume of your background music or your voiceover by just clicking this voice icon and dragging the volume to wherever you want. And for those who are thinking, but I can't get music on Canva, you don't have rights to those music commercially. So make sure you read Canva's policy to subscribe the right way to get the necessary rights if you want to just do everything in the platform. For sound effects, however, you can get them in Canva by just going on audio and searching for the sound effect that you would like. As an example, because our first scene has birds and bees and all kind of things happening, we're gonna search for the sound effect birds chirping and bees buzzing, and then we're gonna search as well for a pulsating sound to explain that wiggling that our characters are doing on the background or on the scene, and we're gonna add that here in Canva. And again, just adjust the volume as you see fit and drag your audio, whether it's your background music, your voiceover, or your sound effects, to the appropriate places when the actual thing is happening in the visual, and just be creative and have fun. Now, rock stars, we're just gonna go here on Canva, click on download, and you're gonna choose MP4 file because you want high quality, and your file is now ready to be shared with your audience. Now let's play a clip of the video that we just created together using AI and Canva.
Welcome to the Fruit and Veggie Adventure. Today we're going to explore some delicious fruits and vegetables and learn their names. Are you ready? Let's go. First up, the apple orchard. This is Annie the apple. Can you say apple? Apples are crunchy and sweet. Swinging in next are the bananas. This bunch loves to hang around. Bananas are long, yellow, and super tasty. Let's all say banana. Over at the carrot corner, we meet Carrie the carrot. Carrots are orange and great for your eyesight. Repeat after me, carrot. Look at the tomatoes dancing in the garden. Tomatoes are red and full of vitamins. Let's dance and say tomato. It's time for an adventure with Eddie the eggplant. Eggplants are purple and can be made into lots of yummy dishes. Say eggplant with me. Goodbye.
Be kidding me!
Now, rock stars, I want you to rate this video on a scale of 1 to 10. The rating of 1 being Odetta, this is pathetic. No kid out there will ever watch this video. And 10 being, I can see my kids or my grandkids watching this video. It's not the worst for a first attempt. And go ahead and write your rating from 1 to 10 in the comments for me. I would really appreciate it. That way I know if I'm sharing things that's adding value or not. Now, rock stars, creating a children's educational video like the one we just created with AI and online tools like Canva is actually accessible to everyone across the globe. And it will take you, for your first video, about 40 minutes to create it. But as you get more proficient, that 40 minutes can turn into 20 minutes. But it all depends on if you're gonna go normal, exceptional, or phenomenal. I believe for $875 a day, if it even takes me an hour to create a video or 2 hours, it's definitely worth it, because this is the kind of side hustle that can retire you from your 9-to-5 job when done well. Now, are you gonna get the 100,000 views that you need per day on average to make your $875 a day from the get-go? Maybe not. This channel, however, that I showed you earlier, it's getting 700,000 views per day, and we created a similar video. So you know it's possible over time. What I would say is commit yourself to 1 to 3 years to making videos that your kids, your grandkids, or your godkids, or your nieces and nephews can watch. It's worth it anyway. And remember that success on YouTube is contingent on you being consistent, providing high quality content that is engaging and speaks to your audience. All the best with your creativity on this journey, rock stars. And until next time, walk good.